kids are, particularly if you're in school, and that way you can prepare yourself for the way things are, not the way they were in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have a little bit more on, we talked about foreclosures. We've been talking about that for the last couple of weeks, but I have a little bit more on that I thought would be kind of interesting. We had talked about the loan modification program and how so few loans have been modified under that program. And I have an article here from Bloomberg.com, and it stated, doesn't have the date on it, but anyway, I know I got it just here, it was dated December the 10th. But it's saying that foreclosures are at record levels. Foreclosure filings are at record level here in the United States, and will be for the second consecutive year. Last year, 3.2 million foreclosure filings were filed, and this year, 3.9 million foreclosure notices are filed. So once again, this whole loan modification and all the stuff that's supposed to be done to help homeowners stay in their home, it doesn't seem like it's stopped anything. If anything, it looks like the trend is growing. And I guess I have a question, because I really don't understand. I don't see who benefits from having all these homes foreclosed on. I don't even see why the banks would want to have all these homes. I'm at a loss as to what would be the rationale. Why would you want to have an empty home versus maybe working with the homeowner and lowering their monthly payment, even if it's temporarily, to help them get through a tough time. Even if you, like we had talked about before, maybe even if you give them a 40-year mortgage as opposed to a 30-year mortgage, to say you tack it in on the tail end, but give them some relief up front until the economy gets better. I don't see why what's the benefit to the bank in foreclosing on all these homes?
Yeah, if anybody has heard any information or knows anything, send us a note, because we've been kind of scratching our heads as to why there's been such a non-response with the loan modification program, and why now the government's trying to force it on the banks, and why there's been so much resistance. Because it just doesn't, to me, it doesn't make sense that just piling up all these properties, how it helps the banks at all.
Right. And definitely it hurts individual homeowners. I mean, even those that are current on their mortgage, it hurts them, because if the value of their home is going down, everyone is hurt by that.
Right, and the banks, if they have all these properties, and the longer it continues, the less that these foreclosed properties, the less value that they have.
Right.
And so they might have had a home that was worth $200,000 a couple of years ago, and if it's been foreclosed on, still sitting on the market, maybe it's worth $150 now, and so that asset on the bank sheet is declining. So it just doesn't make any sense why it's not getting done. Why there's not more movement, a bigger percentage of these loan modifications being made.
Right. And then also, when you have homes that are foreclosed on, it runs the risk. You run the risk of having crime increase in that area. You have, I guess the homeless will occupy those homes. A lot of the homes have been basically destroyed if they're not.
See, it goes back to my Cash for Crack Houses program that needs to come up.
Right. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. So anyway, that's something that Gary and I, we actually would like to know more about. If there's anyone out there, I'm sure it has something to do with maybe their balance sheets or something. Maybe banks, the write-offs, help improve the balance sheets. That's about the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, but do you think that might be a short-term thing? That in the long term,
right,
how it's going to help them?
And then in closing, I have an article, and you may be aware of this already, but I just thought it just kind of brings home the point of just how bad things are right now here in America. American Girl doll has a homeless doll, Gwen. I don't know if you're aware of that.
No, I had not heard of it.
Yeah, her name is Gwen Thompson. She came out several months ago. She's a limited edition doll, and there was a lot of talk about it a few months ago, and haven't heard much about it lately, but she's homeless. So you know how all the American Girl dolls have that story behind them.
Do you think that's good for little girls to be? Is that too hard for them to digest, something like that? Do you think it's healthy,
because,
or
well, it's a reality. I mean, I don't know if I could say it's healthy or not healthy. If you walk down the street in Chicago, we went for a walk last night down Chicago, and it seems like every other store had a homeless person sleeping there.
Right.
So I don't see how that, that's hiding a reality, I would say.
Yeah.
So anyway, this particular doll, I guess according to the story behind the doll, the father left the mother all of a sudden, and the family now is left homeless. And for a while, they had to sleep in a car, and then I guess eventually they might have found some place to live. So, it's kind of interesting. Kind of brings home the point.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Just a sign of the times, I guess.
Right. So that's it for this week. So if you have any comments, shoot us an email. We did get a couple of emails off of the last show. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate the comments. That kind of gives us an idea as to what people are thinking. So you can send it to us at Gary and Crystal Show at yahoo.com. That's Gary, Gary, and Crystal Show at yahoo.com.
That's it for this week. Y'all come back now, you hear?
Bye, everyone.